Welcome back, faithful, to the first training camp rewind of the 2021 season, where we are recapping everything that you might have missed in the first block of 49ers training camp practices. And also, we will be joined by two members of the 49ers, free safety Jimmie Ward and left guard Laken Tomlinson, to give us a little insight into what is really going down out there at the SAP Performance Facility. But before we get to them, let's jump back and look at what has transpired over this first week of 49ers training camp practices, beginning with some familiar faces making their way back to the field. Nick Bosa, Dee Ford, and Jalen Hurd all clearing physicals and making returns to the field this week. Kyle Shanahan said the goal for the trio is to be eased into drills, as they were limited to just individual work. Bosa spoke with the media this week and discussed the highs and the lows of his return from that season-ending ACL injury a year ago, and his goals of being ready for the 49ers season opener on September 12th against the Detroit Lions. And since we're already on the topic of defense, how about San Francisco's D dominating the first week of camp? Veteran corner Jason Verrett's been making plays early, notching several pass breakups and a couple of near interceptions. And the same goes for nickel corner Keiana Williams, who made a nice play over the top of all-pro tight end George Kittle. Oh, and how about Saturday's camp? Fred Warner coming down with the first interception of camp, and Jason Verrett doing the same a few plays later. Shanahan spoke highly of San Francisco's defensive line this week, calling them tough to handle despite missing a few bodies. They'll look to continue that work as the intensity is only increasing from here. And how about on offense? One of the biggest storylines from the 49ers season, and that's obviously going to be at quarterback. Jimmy Garoppolo has been getting all of the first team reps, followed by the number 3 overall pick, Trey Lance. Kyle Shanahan has been impressed with what he's seen out of the veteran quarterback, who said he's as motivated as ever heading into his 4th camp in San Francisco. Both he and Lance have been slinging the rock. We've seen those deep passes and those tight window throws so far through camp to guys like Deebo Samuel and Brandon Ayuk, who, by the way, is having a standout camp so far. Another wideout that's worth mentioning, Mohamed Sanu, who has been a valuable veteran presence to this young 49ers receiving core. Sanu has been flaunting that big body slot receiving style, and he's noted that he's feeling the best he has felt while playing football, looking to fight for a spot as that 49ers wide receiver number 3. Following today's off day, the 49ers will reconvene at the SAP Performance Facility on Monday to resume their training camp practices. And as we promised, we are returning with 49ers free safety Jimmie Ward. Welcome to 49ers Training Camp Rewind. Before we jump into training camp, I think there's a very important question that we need to discuss with you, and that's the number change. No more number 20, number 1. Give us a little insight.
Number 1 is the first number I ever put on Pop Warner football, so I thought it was time to go back to that.
Okay. All right, you're kind of tricking all of us up. We see number 1 on the field making plays, and we're like, wait a minute. Is that Jimmy? You know, so it's a little interesting. We like it, though. Do you feel it's fitting?
Yes, I like it. You know, new number, new me. You know, Feel good, play good.
Okay, so new number, new you. Let's talk about new you, new Jimmie Ward. This offseason, were there any specific things that you worked on, that you had to focus on, that you wanted to take your game, how you wanted to take your game to the next level in 2021? What were those things?
I worked on more coverage, footwork drills, just getting prepared for man coverage, fire zone, sort of like man coverage, just to, help the defense, and so that's really it.
So speaking of this 49ers defense, when I look at it, at least on paper, you see a lot of those same pieces that we saw in 2020, that we saw in 2019. A lot of those returning guys that are coming back healthy, but also not just that. A lot of those depth pieces that, got a lot of that experience in 2020 still on this roster. But as you look at this defense as a whole, what do you take away from it?
Just thinking about from last year, like when we missed a lot of those key guys, I feel like I didn't hear a lot of talk about the DBs, but now, we showed that the DBs could play, so now we're getting all those pieces that we was missing coming back from this year, as in our D-line. And of course, we got our linebackers, they're strong, they're going to hit and they can cover. So So I feel like with those added pieces, I feel like we're going to be a top defense this year.
Oh, I like that. I think everyone watching likes to hear that. But let's talk about some of those pieces that's going to also help bring this defense to being one of those top in the league. And that's the return of guys like a Nick Bosa and a D Ford. What do having those two guys on the field, what does it do for the defense? And how does it make your job a little easier as well?
Definitely makes the job a lot easier. Quarterback has less time to throw the ball. And not only do we have Nick Bosa and D Ford, we also have that added piece that we got in free agency this year, and that's Sampson. And he's doing a great, amazing job so far. He's fast, strong, just the perfect type of body type that we need for our defense.
I want to talk about what's coming, and that's next week, and that's putting the pads on. Are you eager for when the pads come on at practice?
Oh yes, that's the reason why I play this game. I love the physicality part of it. Just like to bang up, and then I got to build that scar tissue up. Those wears and those tears, for the real thing. And once we put the pads on, we get used to that, and then we go to preseason game, and then after those 3 preseason games, and then it's the real thing. It's time for a movie.
Okay, it's time for a movie. Pads are coming on next week. What can we look forward to? 49ers fans, they want to see these highlights. They want to know what's going on at 49ers training camp. What can we expect?
Oh, you can expect the defense going to ball out every day. I'm saying defense win championships, and I believe that, and that's how we're going to win this year is through the defense.
You heard it first, Jimmie Ward. Appreciate having you on the 49ers Training Camp Rewind. And while we got you, we're going to toss to a video of Kyle Shanahan actually speaking about this 49ers defense, what he's seen throughout the first week. And we'll be right back with left guard Laken Tomlinson.
I thought our D-line was going today. I think it's been a real competitive camp. I think the defense probably got the best of the O today. But yeah, they're all tough to handle. But Sampson, he's done a real good job. He's in shape. He's explosive. He's strong. We're not surprised. We've played against him twice a year for, I think, the last 4 years. So he's been exactly what we hoped for.
Well, there you have it. Kyle Shanahan, you can't talk about the defense without talking about the offense, and we're going to talk about that offensive line joined by 49ers guard Laken Tomlinson. Laken, I want to talk about what we see from Laken on social media. I want to talk about your offseason. You're the one that's pumping iron in your home gym. I see it on Instagram. Tell me a little bit about your offseason workout regimen and what you've been up to.
Oh, man, just my little home gym I got in Detroit. We built it a couple years ago, and, it came in handy during the pandemic, and it's still paying dividends right now. So I spend most of my time down there working on my craft and just sculpting my body.
It's like one of finding a benefit in the pandemic. You have to kind of do makeshift things and make things happen, and you made it happen clearly at your home gym in Detroit. But let's talk about this 49ers O-line. There's some new faces along the O-line. There's some familiar faces. So I guess we'll just kind of just start off and work our way down. And let's talk about your side of the line. Let's talk. You've got Trent Williams next to you, this Pro Bowl tackle. What's it been like just now having a full year with him and now going into his second training camp?
Man, it's been amazing. Just like already having like last year under the belt and coming in with that comfort level that he's still there. Man, it's just been amazing. And man, we're trying to be the scariest left side in the league, So, I'm glad he's here. And, Trent has been an amazing guy and also an amazing mentor to me too. So, we got Alex Mack came in, man. Just watching film on him in the offseason when we signed him, I just got me so excited to work with him, and he's been doing a great job, and especially in that leadership role too. I mean, he's another guy I talk to a lot. Having Trent to my left and Alex to my right, man, it's awesome.
2 Pro Bowlers. You're sandwiched between 2 Pro Bowlers, essentially, right?
Yeah, man. It's just off season. It's good for the O-line.
Good. And before I jump to this right guard spot, I do want to talk about Mike McGlinchey. Mike looks different. When
Big
you
Mike.
see him, he's Big Mike, but Mike's build is a little
Big
different
Mike.
this offseason. Tell us about Big Mike.
Big Mike, man, he put a lot of work in the offseason, man. You can see when I came back, for OTAs, he lives here, so he's been working out with Dustin, and it showed. And he came in, was solid, and I came in, I looked, I was like, wow, Mike, you look big, So you know, Big Mike is Big Mike now, man.
Yeah, expecting big things from Big Mike. And then I got to talk about, before I go into some of these young guys, what's going on at right guard. We got the chance to talk to Kyle Shanahan yesterday, and he said that he really likes what he's been able to see out of Daniel Brunskill and Tom Compton, what they were able to do with these 40 days off and bringing that into training camp. But what's your thoughts on this battle opposite you?
Man, it's a hell of a battle. You know, you got a lot of guys working over there. Tom Compton, Dan Brunskill, you know, brought in Aaron Banks, obviously. There's the second round, and you know those guys are doing a great job out there competing every day. And you know we Coach Furr, you know he's an amazing coach. He's on him too. So you just awesome room, awesome guys too, and they work really, really hard. So I'm excited to see what the rest of the camp has entailed for us.
All right, you're saying that, you know, this O-line has been working really hard, but I think something that's helping you guys work just as hard is playing against this 49ers D-line.
Oh, of course, man. You know, Coach Chris and his guys, you know, it's always fun going against those guys, man, because, you know, especially, you know, guys like, you know, Street, you know, like Givens, guys like the DJ, you know, just going against those guys, you know, every day, you know, you get some bounce back things against each other, and, you know, you figure out things, you know, that, oh, this is what I need to work on, or this is, you know, what you're tipping off, and stuff like that. We talk to each other, so we got that relationship with the O-line, D-line, and we still work hard, and we still grind, and we're still in the trenches, you know. So I mean, hey, it's a battle every day, but we're coming out and we're getting after it.
We love to hear it. Okay, well, let's look at big picture. Let's look at this 49ers offense. Let's look at these pieces that are in play. Do you guys kind of talk about what this team's potential could be, looking at who you guys have? A lot of these returners, you have these guys that they're proven, but now looking ahead.
It's really not much to talk about, honestly, because you can just feel it. You know, all the guys that we have, all the weapons we have, man, you just go down the line. You know, we got Kittle, we got Juice, we got Raheem, you know, we got Trey, you know what I'm saying? You know, we got all those guys, you know, Jimmy still, man, he's balling right now, so. You just, you know, all the weapons we got out there, especially on the O-line too. I'm just excited. We feel it, and we're working every day to get to that standard where we need to be.
Yeah, and then next week is when it's the real deal. Pads come on. We were just talking to Jimmie Ward about it. Do you guys look forward to that moment when the pads come on for you guys that are down in the trenches? How's that dynamic for you guys?
Man, I'm so excited to put some pads on. You kidding me? That's when the real trench warfare gets to happening. So
the real trench warfare, it starts next week, and with that, we're looking forward to it. But as we let you go, Laken, we appreciate the time. Thanks for stopping by Training Camp Rewind. But you, the fans, can kind of get a peek into what Laken and the rest of the 49ers are up to brick by brick. It's coming back Wednesday, August 11th. You can stay tuned to 49ers.com, Facebook, YouTube to catch that. And then also, we're going to be back right here for the next episode of Training Camp Rewind. That's going to air Thursday, August 5th, and we'll have 2 new members of the 49ers joining us to talk a little bit about training camp and the pads coming on. Real trench warfare going on right there. But with that, I'm going to leave you guys with a little sneak peek of what you can expect from Brick by Brick. Enjoy this and enjoy your week, and we'll see you guys back next week.
Faithful, y'all can expect this team. Y'all can expect this team to reach new heights. You can expect this team to reach new destinations. We all here, we all focused, we all locked in, we all know the goal, we all know the task at hand, man. So y'all just be ready. I already know y'all gonna have our back like a t-shirt.
Woo! Boy, when I seen them open practices pop up, boy, I was happy. And what's so crazy, they already sold out. It sold out within a couple days, but you know, we back. I'm ready to see y'all, miss y'all, you know what I'm saying? Faithful forever, you know? Forever faithful, baby.